History is often written by those in power, and when that power relies on subjugation, the historical record becomes a tool for oppression, built on what the poet calls bitter, twisted lies. To dismantle that erasure, Maya Angelou wrote StillIRise. It is a structural counter-narrative, delivered by an authoritative, unyielding voice. Throughout the text, the identities of the target and the attacker are explicitly defined. The you represents racist and sexist societal structures, the forces demanding submission. The I is the target who refuses to be crushed. The oppressor expects the speaker to appear physically broken, with a bowed head, lowered eyes, and shoulders falling like teardrops. Instead, she responds with the resilience of dust. No matter how deeply it is trodden into the dirt, it simply rises back into the air. By framing individual resilience as an inevitable reaction to oppression, Angelou presents self-worth as a tactical refusal to accept the version of history imposed from above. The speaker's first line of defense is her attitude. She projects an unapologetic sassiness that upsets the oppressor. Because the system expects her to be beset with gloom, her visible joy acts as a refusal to cooperate with her own subjugation. She describes walking as if she has oil wells pumping in her living room. The metaphor places immense, hidden material wealth inside a mundane, domestic space, illustrating the scale of her internal power compared to her external circumstances. From earthly wealth, the poem shifts its scale to cosmic certainty. The speaker compares her resilience to moons, suns, and the certainty of tides. By invoking these celestial laws, the speaker declares that her survival is not a fragile possibility. Like gravity or the rising sun, it is an unstoppable physical fact. In Angelou's framework, true wealth is the psychological armor of joy. That internal conviction renders external judgment powerless. When passive lies fail, the oppressor's tactics escalate. The text moves to active violence, shooting with words, cutting with eyes, and attempting to kill with hatefulness. The speaker matches this escalation with a new measure of wealth. She shifts from the hidden machinery of an oil well to an outward glowing display, laughing as if she has gold mines digging in her own backyard. You may shoot me, you may cut me, you may kill me. She counters these physical and verbal threats by becoming intangible, rising like air. The speaker absorbs these attacks, transforming the energy of hatred into the very atmosphere that sustains her rise. In the final stanzas, the scope of the poem expands. The speaker is no longer defending her personal present. She is stepping back to confront the deep historical trauma of her people. She grounds this abstract pain in a specific origin point, rising out of what she calls the huts of history's shame. To overcome a past rooted in pain, she adopts the form of a black ocean. It is a force of nature, leaping and wide, capable of absorbing generations of trauma and burying it in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, the poem crosses a threshold into a daybreak that is wondrously clear. As she enters this new daybreak, the final identity of the speaker is revealed. She is the embodiment of the gifts her ancestors gave, carrying forward the dream and hope of the enslaved people who did not survive to see the dawn. The poem suggests that the continuum of oppression is severed when joy and ancestral memory fuel a refusal to stay down. In this framework, the act of rising becomes a victory over history itself.